Okay, we are back with the Monopoly game, and we got to wrap things up. First off, I should say that I've been told that I made the dice wrong. I should have done a little bit of research. These graveyard shifts with my son and full days with the both of them and the dogs have been very challenging and exhausting, and I try to do my videos late at night into the wee hours of the morning, and sometimes I don't prepare that well. And so I made some mistakes, and I apologize to anybody who might have been following along doing the dice. I have since learned that the sides of the dice are supposed to add up to 7, and there's more about the orientation of these, a little bit anyhow. So I've got 1 here and 6, and that adds up to 7. So if I have 2 here, I should have 5 on the other side. Now, it's easiest to do this by making the dice from scratch. I think what I'll do, did I make a copy or did I just move it? I just moved it. All right. Let's make a copy of this, Shift D, and move it back to the first layer. And let's just work on this one here. All right. And let me see what I can do about this. I see that I've rotated it, and that makes things more complicated. Let's see if I can get out of that rotation, at least to an orthographic view. I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to turn off the subdivision surface and face selection. I'm going to hit C, and I'm going to paint select just like this. Make sure I get everything. I'm only going to get that side. Okay, and I'm going to hit P, and I'm going to break it out. And do the same for here. Paint select, and P. These be 5 and 3. Now, I'll do this one as well. It's going to be harder, I find, to snap these together like this. So first of all, with that selected, let's do geometry to origin on all of these. So I've got 2 there. Okay, so I'm going to move that out, and I'm going to take the 5. And I'm going to turn on snapping to edge. I'm going to do what I can to get this guy in line. Alright, so if the 2 is there, that's there, and the 3 is there, I'll take the 4. Is it the right orientation? It is. Now, let's see. 1 and 6. Now, I'm not going to worry about whether or not this should be angled that way or that way. I'm just going to do that. I think that's 2, 3, 5 and 2, 4 and 3 is 7 and 7. Now, let's take it. Let's just have a closer look. Let's turn off snapping for now. What's going on here? Those are still joined, eh? Well, let's just try and join it like that and see if that's a problem. Let's see how well that worked there. I think we've got it. And I hope that's close enough to what we would need for the dice. Let's take this one, move it out here just in case. And no, it didn't move, did it? Let's take this one. move you. Go there. And you, let's move you back to the first layer. Okay, okay. Now, how many subdivisions? I've got 2. So I've gone up. If I go down to 1, is that enough? Well, we're going to see. Okay. Okay, so I've got that. All right. It's time to get this together and do some materials and wrap this up. So I'm going to start with my microphone. I'm pretty much going to do the same material on all of them anyhow. I've got this default material. I'm going to split my screen, T and T, come to the node editor over here on this side, and I've got that, and I'm going to come in here, and I've got a couple of choices. This was what I was thinking of using. Relatively simple. I've also got this, and it's got the basis of the first material here with some other stuff, but I may want to just get this thing done and use relatively simple. So let's start with this. Okay, there's my material output. I've got glossy and and a mix RGB there. So let's do this. Let's Shift S and convert this to glossy, and then let's take this and Shift D, and I need a mix RGB, and what else am I going to need? Add a bump. Shift D to copy it. With it selected, Shift S, vector bump. Alright, we'll just start laying down those nodes. And I'm going to need the Voronoi Texture and then another mix RGB. I'll just grab this, Shift D, with it selected, Shift S, Texture, Voronoi. I need another mix RGB out here, and do the mapping stuff. Okay, so let's simulate these values. It'll depend on the size of your model. 0.1 and 0.1 for the bumps. Okay, so let's go for the 0.1. Let's make the bump 0.1. And the bump is going to come from normal into the normal of that. Like that. And I imagine we're going to go into the color from the color of this. Okay, now in this case I've got a light color, white, and then a gray there, so I'll do that. I'll make this a little bit lighter and this a little bit darker there. That's fine like that. Okay, for the Voronoi texture, this is the one that's really going to depend on the size of the model here. I've got a scale of 3000 on intensity. All right, so I'll do 3000, but that might not be the right setting. Okay, I'm going to come out for that one of the color into the FAC of that one. Okay, so I'm going to come out of that to the FAC of this one. And the FAC of this one is going to go into the height, right? FAC into the height of the bump. Alright, and you can start to see some speckly stuff on there. Okay. Okay, and then I've got my mix, and I've got a 0.2 and the second color. So we'll go 0.2. Color into vector. And then I have mapping nodes. Okay, so I'm able to just select this one and go Control T, but I think that'll put an image texture in there. Yeah, get that out of there. Vector into, I think it's color 2, but we'll see. Yeah, okay. And everything 0.1 and generated. Yeah, we'll go from here, generated, to there. Okay, so that's back, and let's just have a look at this color. It's white. Okay, that's fine. Let's okay, so let's have a first look at this. Are my lights on? No, I need my lights on. Okay, on the second layer there. You may not be able to see. Let's exaggerate this for a second. 0.15 and the 0.2. Let's save this. And what I'll do is I'm going to have to give this a quick test render. Control up arrow. I've got it on all of them. And then I'll come back and we'll have a look because it's easier to see when I render it. Okay, I don't know how well this will show up on camera, but as you can see, I have this sort of speckled look on my models. This might be a little bit much. And so what I would probably do is dial that back a little bit. But this is the general look that I wanted to have versus, I'll show you another thing. Okay, I don't know actually if this shows up very well, but you can see at least over here a little bit more of this kind of stuff. I think I'll do a video with that kind of effect later, but it's mostly the speckled look. There's an HDR image in here, and I guess I didn't have one in here. What I'm going to do now is just dial that back just a little bit. I'm pretty much going to keep this material relatively simple, and I'm going to place the game pieces, maybe throw in an HDR for lighting, and maybe have a look at this board and see if I need to pull this edge up, maybe make this black or maybe white. We'll see. So let's see what we can do here. Control down arrow. I'm going to take the bump back down to 0.15. I do want it a little bit like that, maybe a little bit less rough, maybe 0.175, and that's all right. All right, let's do something here now. Okay, so I just want to think. Let's go into solid view. Let's save that now. Okay, so first of all, okay, so that's that. All right, I'm going to leave the game board as it is. What have I got? Just a sun, right? All right, let's get rid of that first of all. I'm just trying to think about how best. Let's hide this and hide that. Now, just had to check. Actually, let's see if I can grab all of that. Not that. Do I have an empty on there? Okay, I take it back. Let's bring everything back. So I don't have any empties, right? Boy, look at all this. No naming or anything. Okay. What I was thinking of doing, okay, is I do want to hide that. Let's bring the cursor to there. Shift A and add an empty with arrows. Roughly centered over the drums. And in wireframe, I'm going to see if I can get all the drums here. And with all that selected, I'm going to shift and click there. I'm going to go Control P. Alright, so I can now move the drums independently of anything else. So let's do that for all of them. Let's take the guitar. selected. And so what we're going to do, I'm just going to position a few of these. You're in jail. You can be over here. And let's go from the top view. You're on Park Lane, but we are going to be rotated. Rotate said 90 minus. And by the way, I want to, oh no, the other way. Rotate said 90. Okay, good. Most of you guys out in the front. I like the guitar, so I don't want it too far away. Yeah, Adam. You can be somewhere else, I suppose. Over there, and you're just fine right there. Yeah, that is just, you know, positioning stuff the way you want it. Make a copy of you. Rotate X 90. Rotate in Z. Okay. Let's try adding an HDR image. Okay, right here, environment texture, open, and get an HDR from the internet somewhere. Let's try this one. Let's see what that's starting to look like. Okay, it's nice and bright, and I can come down here to ray visibility, an unchecked camera, and I should get a black background, but I still get the effects of the HDR. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see the board, but you can mess with lighting and all that stuff on your own. Let's do a nice quick render of that and see how she looks. Maybe we're close to wrapping it up. I mean, the rest is placement and sizes and stuff like that. You could put a little fold in the game board if that's what you really wanted to do. So I'll go ahead and I'll render that, and maybe we'll do a couple of different renders, some close and some far, and we'll see where we're at. Here's a first view. And of course, I need to do the materials for the dice. Okay, I think that looks sweet. Okay, we need to do some work on the dice though, don't we? You don't have to, nah, we can go with it. Oh, here. Let's go over materials, and let's do another material. And let's see how we want to do this. I could just do you know, maybe I'll do it this way. Just the old way. Diffuse. Let's say, yeah, we'll leave it as white. Glossy. white. This could be dice W for white, and I'll do plus dice for black. Alright, let's get both of those. White, dice black. And that would go inside. For these things, let's turn off the subdivision surface, makes it a little easier. Now there might be an easier way to do this. Let's actually control plus, I think, and let's change this to dark. Let's go Control I first of all, dice white, and then Control I. Let's try to get that black in there and see what that would be like with a subdivision surface, if that's what I want. Okay, I'm going to tone this down. So let's work on that. Let's Shift H, hide everything else, and come on back in here. Plus plus. Let's just see if I'm coming out the right amount. That's good enough. Okay, let's do another side. Okay, I can close that. Escape, Control plus plus, sign. Control plus plus. Okay, what happened there? There's a chance I didn't put an edge loop in there. When that happens. Okay, there's something funny going on with that one. What did I hit that makes it zoom that way? Let's just see what we have done here and what can be done to fix it, if anything. You know what I'm going to do, I think? Get rid of those. Oh yeah, there's a problem here on this. Yeah, I think I adjusted the clipping by accident. Did I select anything else? X 0.2 negative, was it? Maybe the scale's all weird. So what I'll do is I'll turn on snapping. I'll try to snap to this edge. It's close enough. S.3 was it? And then grid fill. Control FG. Hopefully that's all right. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, we gotta do an edge loop in here. I think we got it. Let us hope. Oh, again, I got a face selection. Plus, Control plus. Why aren't you doing it? Oh, there we go. Okay. Please tell me I got it all. Save. Alt-H. Delete that. Just copy that over. Let's rotate X90. Rotate the Z a little bit. It's hard to get all the game pieces in, so it's up to you how you do this. I just wanted to show the basic modeling of it. And I also want to try just a different HDR. I like this, which one? I like that. It just may not be, this is real moody. It may not work well with the board, but kind of want to do that. So I think I'm going to render from that position, and I can't really get them all unless I move them. Electric company. Maybe I want the drums close by. What's that? GX. I like the drums a lot. Let's rotate you on this head. Let's just try a render from there. And here's another render with some depth of focus applied, with the microphone as the main focal point, I guess, and then everything else sort of fading out in the background. These ones are quite faded out, and that's a neat effect. And the way you achieve that is you select your camera here, you come down under display, click limits, and then under depth of field you choose your item. You can just like click here, and then you can use the eyedropper if you want to select the actual center or origin of the object. Here, let me see. Go to here. All right, so if I wanted this, I just select that, okay, and then you switch. I use radius, and then just a very small number. All right, so for example, if I go Shift Z and we start to look at this, if this number was like, 0.1, you can start to see it becomes very blurry. So just a very small number, 0.006 or something, or whatever. You can start to see the other ones blurring out. Okay, so obviously you could do some more work on lighting and the materials and everything, but I think we're going to wrap it up. So thank you very much for watching, and hope you found it interesting, and I sure had a lot of fun doing that. Take care.